Chosen one. You just made someone admit, at least to themselves, that you're a psychological warfare master. They can't say it out loud, but the truth is echoing in their mind louder than their own thoughts. You won. Right now, someone is pacing through the halls of a self-made mental maze, trapped by their own games. What's haunting them most is the realization that you're not even trying. You've moved on, healed, elevated, but they're still fighting invisible battles with your silence. And now, every corner they turn only leads to more reflection, more regret, more truth. You didn't destroy them, you exposed them, and that's why they can't escape you. Starting at the beginning, let me show you what this is really about. This all has to do with how you're moving forward, how you're progressing. Someone tried to create circumstances to put you in a psychological war, but not only have you won the war, you escaped whatever mazes were constructed around you, and now you're thriving because of it. There's something about your belief system that just catapulted you into a whole other category. Your belief system, the mechanics of your mind, how you think, how you do things. These are patterns that a lot of people have never known before. A lot of us, especially chosen ones, are getting new ways of thinking that most people never had before. And this is making you a psychological warfare master, because you're exhibiting tactics and behaviors that others have never studied before. You need to understand this truth. You can only trick people at your IQ level. So if someone is a master liar and a manipulator, but encounters someone who's highly intelligent, those same schemes and scams won't work. Well, somebody thought schemes and scams would work with you, and now you made somebody a believer. You made this person believe, wait a minute, there's something higher than me, especially because you didn't lie, manipulate, or deceive to get this outcome. For some of you, you're not even trying to have someone stuck in an endless psychological community. You're just moving forward with how the psychology of your mind works naturally. Do you understand what this means? It's kind of like this. If someone is a master manipulator, a player who goes around getting people trapped in their mind, making them chase, making them call obsessively, making them trip over their own feet, all mind games, not because of being a great person, all mind games. Then this manipulator runs into you, and not only do you dismantle all the mind games, you put this person right back in a self-created psychological prison, and then without mind games, you still succeed authentically. That's wild to somebody. The mind is still trying to wrap around that reality. Somebody is willing to admit, listen, you're the master, please let me out of this prison. This is about being completely defeated. Stick a fork in it, it's done. You ended somebody's whole program. Whatever used to work doesn't work anymore. Or interrupted the scheduled programming. It's all coming out. The person is admitting everything. Like when you commit wrongdoing and that guilt just eats and eats and eats at you. Finally you're like, forget it, I'll confess everything. I don't care what I have to do to escape this psychological prison. I don't care what actions are required. I'll do it. Someone is willing to admit all thoughts just to get peace of mind back. Peace of mind is being desperately sought. Isn't it fascinating how the mind works? If the mind can't handle it, then nothing else follows. The body won't follow. Good decisions won't follow. Being able to operate normally won't follow. It's a breakdown. Everything just started breaking down, and it all started in the mind. Everything else began to break down after that. If you can't physically do stuff like go to work or make good decisions, then your reality starts showing it. People start seeing that stuff falling apart. And it's all because of losing grip on mental stability, or at least feelings exist of being lost or trapped in it. Let me talk about something you don't know is going on, something behind the scenes that needs revealing right now. What you don't realize is somebody feels impoverished, and it could be mentally. Somebody has resorted back to a poverty mindset, or someone is thinking about something you gave during a time of need. You gave something, you did something, and constant remembering is happening. Constant thinking about it exists. But also, whatever you gave, that's what's driving the psychological chaos, because what you offered was generosity, Kindness. You extended your hand toward this person with genuine love and affection, and somebody's thinking about how the gift was received, how it was taken. But then what happened? Backstabbing, crisis, all that kind of destructive behavior. So what gets revealed is, it went full circle. Wherever you found this person, even though temporary elevation may have occurred, the return happened right back to where it started. And thoughts are happening about the generosity and the kindness. For some of you, you're the most generous and most kind person somebody ever met. Even if you're not like that to everybody, to this person, you made feelings of being special occurred. Thoughts are happening about that. And thoughts are also happening about whether you will extend your hand again. This is about generosity, support and charity. This is why how the two mindsets work gets revealed. Your mindset is, when I get it, I'm going to give. I'm going to be positive. Even if it's giving a smile, giving a compliment, giving genuinely. And then somebody else's mindset is impoverished. I'm here to take. I'm going to get. I'm here to receive without necessarily returning it back. Somebody's thinking about that contrast now. This is how you operate from an abundant mindset, and this is driving someone psychologically crazy. You believe you reap what you sow. So if you want to get good things, then you better sow good seeds. So you're giving, you're being genuine. Somebody knows that. Realization exists now. Also, what gets picked up for somebody is realization happened. At first the attempt was happening. The psychological game was, I'm lying to myself. I'm trying to make the collective the bad guy. But the psychological breakdown got to a point where running through one's own mind with those lies couldn't continue anymore. Facing the truth had to happen. Feelings exist of backstabbing an angel. This happened to somebody who was so generous and so kind and so nice. If this message activated your knowing, hype this video to connect with more chosen ones on this journey. Let me show you what's positive and high vibrational about this entire situation. This is clarity, truth, breakthrough, insight. This is why you're not in a maze in your mind. This is also the admission of truth coming forward. It's like, okay, all right, you got me. I'm tired of having these dreams. I'm tired of being stuck at work. I'm tired of staring off into space, and somebody's got to shake me and be like, hey, are you listening? No. Being in another mental space, thinking about the collective. Somebody's like, fine, forget it. Just come get me. Just come pick me up. I confess everything. Come on. Come arrest me. That's how somebody's feeling. Somebody's ready to admit it to you. Okay, fine. Whatever it is that I did it. I'm sorry. Somebody's ready to admit. That's the key word that keeps coming up. An admission of actual truth. Yeah, you really did that. But before this can be said, before this can be done, there was this whole run around that maze. This is some of you, a long time in the making. Somebody's been lying to themselves for a long time, and there's nowhere left to run. Your psychological warfare is based on truth. The reason this person was running around life doing whatever was wanted is because lying to oneself kept happening. But something got encountered that cannot be run through. It's not an open door, it's a closed door. A wall got hit straight on. Like, for example, if you keep telling people, I got this and I'm doing that, and then one day you're walking down the street and you see this person on the curb struggling, it's like, wait a minute, you said all that, that's not you. Some people are spiritually impoverished, or impoverishment has happened, and now it's starting to show up in various ways in life. You're operating off truth. This is what's about to bring you a big breakthrough. Authenticity. You got something coming for all of that truth, for just doing what you're supposed to do. Your blessings are able to locate you. Your energy address matches the postal code numbers of the cosmos, so delivery can happen to you. Some people talk, but alignment doesn't exist, so it misses them every time. It's like ordering something but having the wrong address. Your address matches. This is why you skip all that mind game stuff. You're operating on a frequency that allows your blessings to find you. Now let me show you what's low vibrational. What you need to watch out for. What should have been watched out for was learning that you're the psychological warfare master. Somebody's got a poverty mindset. Experience of decline is happening. Someone who was able to make withdrawals from you, especially mentally, psychologically. I'm going to come over here and get you riled up. I'm going to get some emotions out of you. We're going to start arguing. We're going to start fighting. I'm going to come over there and interrupt your peace. Declined. And now standing there happens. What you mean declined? And it could be resources as well. Remember, we started with you being so charitable, so giving. The person just sitting there receiving and taking and taking and taking, then saying happens, wait, where you going? This ain't enough. You're not doing enough. And so declined. This is the same person who's about to get arrested by conscience. It's like, listen, okay, because the withdrawal, I can't get nothing. Okay, fine, you win. Whatever you want, just make some energy come out the source. Please remember you was all so giving and so kind. Can you go back to being like this? Please, somebody's begging for you to go back, but you got what you needed. And so before the admission can even happen, running through lies has to occur first. My access declined because I forgot the right approach. Looking happens for different strategies. No, decline happened because it's over. That's done. You lost. You lost the psychological warfare. This is equivalent to somebody wanting to come in and run your life, play games with you, mess with your mind. I won't reach out. Gotta let the mind wander. Nobody's doing that anymore. This could be an employment, family situation, work situation. Take it where it applies. Is there someone else? Is there something else? Or does someone come out of that psychological prison? Also, something is coming about, something coming full circle, something coming all the way back around, and you get to see it for what it truly is. This is like fulfillment. Ultimate emotional fulfillment. When you have peace, it's hard for people to come in and interrupt it, even though thinking happened. That's what was going to occur. When you have joy, when you have bliss, when you have family fulfillment, when you have this level of contentment, it's hard for somebody to come in and just knock you off your square. And somebody thought taking something that's so solid within you was going to happen. Thinking occurred, I'm just going to knock the collective off balance, and whatever was tried, this is what's sending someone into a psychological prison. Self-setup happened to be humiliated in front of self. It's not even an audience, really. Well, maybe a little bit of audience, but this was done to self. Look at what's at the foundation. This is a brand new thing, and this to me is like action, like you're taking a swing at something and actually hitting it, knocking it out of the park. It's a brand new way of doing things. It's like, oh, so people were taking advantage, running up to do that. But if I hold this boundary, thinking twice is going to happen before trying to take advantage again. Thinking twice is going to happen. Or at least you have something now to where people are going to think twice. And what is that? The ability to say no. The ability to not feed into someone's games and trickery. The ability to sit there and look at somebody like you must have forgot reality today, as opposed to jumping in, reacting emotionally, looking like both of you need intervention. You know what this means, the ability to do things in a new way. Psychologically, you have this way of thinking that a lot of people have never encountered before, so it's hard for games to be played with you because this psychology type has never been encountered. That makes sense, right? Now that you know you have a psychology type, you have a mind pattern that is not easily analyzed, especially amongst the people around you who you interact with regularly. Now that you know you have that batter up, this is spark, execution and action. We got two new things. You're operating on a whole new level of truth, and you got a whole new weapon to help back you up. But in the meantime, somebody else is declined, psychologically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially, all of those things. And if being lost in a mind trap of your own making is happening, good luck on getting out. It's not up to you. It's not your responsibility. You didn't put anyone there. You don't even have the key. Let me break this down even further so you understand the full magnitude of what you've done. You're not just winning, you're dominating without even trying to dominate. That's the difference between you and everyone else playing these psychological games. Others are out here studying manipulation tactics, reading books on how to control people, practicing lies. Meanwhile, you just woke up one day and decided to live in your truth. That's it. That was your whole strategy. Be authentic, be genuine, operate from integrity, and that simple decision became a weapon with no defense against it existing, because everything known about manipulation requires the other person to be operating from lies too. The whole playbook is built on finding your weakness, your insecurity, your fear, and exploiting it. But what happens when you're not hiding anything? What happens when you've already faced your shadows and made peace with them? Nothing to work with exists. It's like showing up to a confrontation and realizing your opponent isn't even armed, just standing there in truth, and somehow that makes more power exist than any weapon brought. This is what's breaking the mind right now. Running through scenarios is happening. Maybe if I say this, maybe if I do that, maybe if I approach from this angle, none of it works. Because you're not playing the game being attempted, you're not even on the same board. But let me show you something deeper about this psychological warfare mastery you've developed. This didn't happen overnight. You've been in training without even realizing it. Every person who tried to manipulate you was actually sharpening your discernment. Every situation where someone tried to play mind games with you was actually teaching you pattern recognition. Every moment you felt confused by someone's mixed signals was actually building your immunity to psychological manipulation. You were in the training ground this whole time, getting trained by the very people who thought using you was happening. Thinking occurred that getting over on you was happening. Thinking occurred that you were figured out. But really, being your practice opponents was their role, your resistance that made you stronger. Think about it. Every lie told to you taught you how to recognize deception. Every time gaslighting was attempted, you learned to trust your own perception more. Every manipulation attempt that worked in the past became data you stored. You studied it without knowing studying was happening. You analyzed it without trying to analyze. Your subconscious was taking notes the whole time, and then one day something clicked. You couldn't tell anyone when it happened exactly. Maybe it was gradual, maybe it was sudden, but you woke up different. You saw through people differently. You heard what wasn't being said. You felt the energy behind the words. You recognized patterns before full formation happened. Now let me put you onto something real. Destiny Engine. I built this because I was done watching chosen ones get dragged through betrayal, isolation and attacks while their enemies strutted around unchecked. I want to help you accelerate the speed of your divine justice and step fully into your purpose. And the beauty of it, you don't even have to lift a finger. Destiny Engine takes their downfall and flips it into your rise. This isn't another meditation app. It's declassified consciousness technology, the same mind programming tools your enemies once used to install fear, competition and scarcity, re-engineered to restore your sovereignty and align you with the cooperative, upgraded operating framework. It generates personalized sequences mapped to your divine purpose. The hardest thing you'll do is put on headphones, press play and watch your enemies keep digging their own grave. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your Destiny Engine for $1 today and turn everything they did to break you into fuel for your rise. Link in the description. This is what makes you dangerous now. Not dangerous in a harmful way. Dangerous to people who operate in darkness. Dangerous to manipulators who rely on your naivety. Dangerous to psychological game players who need you to be unaware. You became aware, and awareness is the greatest weapon against psychological warfare. The same plays can't be run on you anymore. The guilt trip gets tried, and you don't feel guilty. The silent treatment gets tried, and you enjoy the peace. Jealousy attempts happen, and you're genuinely happy for everyone involved. Confusion attempts happen, and you see clarity. Every tactic deployed gets neutralized by your awareness. Do you understand how frustrating that is? All this effort is being put in, all this energy is being expended, all this calculation is being executed, and you're just existing in your truth, completely neutralizing everything thrown at you without even trying. It's like swinging at air. punching shadows, fighting ghosts. Meanwhile, you're not even in the ring. You're not even at the arena. You're somewhere else entirely, living your life, building your empire, creating your peace. And that's the admission getting ready to be made. That you're not just good at psychological warfare, you're a master. And being in your league doesn't even exist for them. There's going to be a shift. You're going to feel it energetically before you see it physically. Reaching out might happen with an apology that sounds different than before, more genuine, more humbled, or complete disappearance might happen, finally accepting that accessing you anymore can't happen. Some are going to try one more time, one final attempt to see if maybe, just maybe, letting your guard down will happen. Coming with a sob story is going to happen. A crisis, an emergency that only you can help with. And this is where your mastery really shows, because you'll recognize it immediately, not with suspicion or paranoia, but with clear, calm discernment. You'll see the pattern, you'll feel the energy, you'll know it's another game, and you'll make a decision from your truth, not from being played. Maybe you'll help anyway, but on your terms. Maybe you'll decline and keep moving. Either way, you'll be operating from choice, not from being played. This is the level you're on now. You don't need to announce it. You don't need to prove it. You don't need to explain it. Your energy announces it for you. People feel it when coming into your presence. There's something different about you. Something can't quite be put a finger on. Something that makes thinking twice happen before trying usual games. You've developed an energetic signature that says, I see you, I see what you're doing, and I'm not available for it. Without words, without confrontation, without drama, just pure presence, pure awareness, pure mastery, and the people who were playing games with you, picking up on that signature loud and clear is happening. It's echoing through the mental maze, bouncing off every wall, reminding at every turn that you're no longer the person who could be manipulated. You've evolved past comprehension. When someone admits you're a psychological warfare master, not just acknowledging your skill is happening, acknowledging own defeat is happening. Recognizing that everything thought to be known about manipulation doesn't apply to you. Accepting that you operate on a different frequency entirely. And that admission, whether said out loud or just felt internally, releases you from any remaining energetic cords, any lingering attachments, any residual effects of attempts to control you. It's like a spiritual contract getting voided, a karmic debt getting cleared, a cycle getting completed. You're about to feel lighter, freer, more at peace, because that weight you didn't even know you were carrying, the weight of someone's mental games, psychological manipulation, attempts to trap you, it's about to lift. Surrender from them is your liberation, even though you were never really trapped. You're not just winning individual battles, you're breaking generational patterns. You're disrupting cycles that have been running in families, workplaces and relationships for longer than anyone can remember. Think about it. How many people before you got trapped in the same games with the same type of person? How many gave in to the guilt trips, fell for the manipulation, stayed in the toxic cycle because leaving seemed harder than staying? But you broke the pattern. You said enough. You walked away. You chose yourself. And that pattern break is sending shockwaves through the spiritual realm. Because when one person breaks a cycle, permission gets granted for others to do the same. When you stand in your truth, you become a beacon for everyone still trapped in lies. When you choose peace over chaos, you show everyone watching that peace is actually possible. This is why the admission matters so much. When someone admits you're the master, what's really being admitted is that the old ways don't work anymore. The manipulation tactics that worked on previous generations don't work on you. The control mechanisms that kept people trapped for decades can't hold you. The fear-based strategies that made people comply, you see right through them. You're operating from a completely different paradigm. One where love doesn't equal suffering, where kindness doesn't equal weakness, where generosity doesn't equal being taken advantage of, where setting boundaries doesn't equal being selfish. You've redefined the entire game. And the people who were trying to play you using the old rule book, confusion is happening for them, frustration is building for them, defeat is settling in for them. Because the rule book they memorized is obsolete, the strategies they perfected are useless, the tactics they relied on bounce off you like you're wearing invisible armor. But here's what makes you truly dangerous. You're not just protecting yourself, you're teaching others through your example. People are watching how you handle manipulation, observing how you respond to psychological games, studying how you maintain your peace in the middle of chaos, and learning is happening for them. Your co-workers are noticing that saying no doesn't get you fired. Your family is seeing that boundaries don't destroy relationships. Your friends are realizing that walking away from toxicity doesn't mean being alone forever. You're proving through your lived experience that there's another way to exist in this world. This is the ripple effect of mastery. One person stands in their truth, and suddenly permission gets granted for 10 more to do the same. Those 10 inspire 100. Those 100 reach 1,000. You're not just changing your own life. You're contributing to a massive shift in consciousness happening right now on this planet. The person trapped in their mental maze, that person is feeling this shift, sensing that the ground is moving beneath their feet, recognizing that the world they knew, the world where manipulation worked and games got rewarded, that world is crumbling, and you're standing on the new ground, the solid ground, the ground built on truth and authenticity. Some days you might feel like you're being too harsh, too cold, too distant, too unavailable. The old programming might whisper that you should give another chance, be more understanding, show more compassion. But here's what you need to understand. Boundaries aren't cruel, standards aren't mean, self-respect isn't selfish. You're not being harsh, you're being honest. You're not being cold, you're being clear. You're not being distant, you're being discerning. You're not being unavailable, you're being intentional about who gets access to your energy, your time, your presence, your peace. And that intentionality is what's making you untouchable. Manipulators need access to manipulate. Game players need engagement to play games. Energy vampires need an open door to drain you. But you've locked the doors, changed the codes, upgraded the security system, and anyone trying to sneak in is getting caught immediately. Your awareness has become so sharp that you can feel a manipulation attempt before words even get spoken. You can sense a game being set up before the first move gets made. You can detect an energy vampire before they even approach. This is the level of mastery you've achieved, and achieving this level required something most people aren't willing to do. You had to face yourself, look at your own patterns, acknowledge where you were complicit in your own manipulation, admit where you ignored red flags because you wanted something to be true that wasn't, own where you stayed too long because leaving felt too hard. That self-accountability is what transformed you from someone who could be played into someone who's unplayable. That brutal honesty with yourself is what upgraded you from victim to master. That willingness to see your own part in the dynamics is what freed you from ever being trapped again. Most people skip this step. They want to blame everyone else, point fingers at the manipulators, claim they had no idea what was happening. But you did the work. You looked in the mirror, you took responsibility for your own growth, and that's why you're free while others are still trapped. This freedom you've earned isn't fragile, it's not conditional, it's not dependent on anyone else's behavior. It's solid, permanent, unshakable, because it's built on self-knowledge, not external validation. It's rooted in self-trust, not other people's approval. It's sustained by self-love, not someone else's affection. The person who's ready to admit you're the master, that person is recognizing something they never wanted to face. That real power doesn't come from controlling others, it comes from mastering yourself. That genuine strength isn't found in manipulation, it's found in authenticity. That lasting victory isn't achieved by playing games, it's achieved by refusing to play. You've become living proof that the alternative exists, that you can succeed without scheming, Thrive without manipulating, win without playing dirty, build without tearing others down, rise without pushing others down, shine without dimming anyone else's light. This is revolutionary in a world that taught everyone the opposite, a world that said you have to step on others to climb, use people to get ahead, play games to win, manipulate to succeed. But you're proving that's a lie. You're demonstrating daily that integrity works, that authenticity wins, that truth prevails. Once defeat gets admitted, once surrendering to the reality of your mastery happens, you're going to experience a level of peace never felt before. It's like the universe saying, okay, you passed the test, here's your reward. Opportunities are going to start flowing. Connections are going to start appearing. Blessings are going to start manifesting. Because you're no longer energetically tied to someone else's games. You're no longer spending mental and emotional energy navigating manipulation. You're free, completely free. And freedom is the frequency of manifestation. When you're free from psychological warfare, you have bandwidth for creativity, for inspiration, for vision, for building. All that energy you were using to protect yourself from games can now be redirected toward creating the life you actually want. This is the harvest talked about earlier. This is what you've been preparing for. All those seeds you planted while busy trying to trap you was happening. Those seeds were growing in soil, couldn't be seen. Roots were spreading in dimensions, couldn't be accessed. And now those seeds are about to break through the surface and show fruit. You're about to see returns on every genuine interaction you had, every authentic connection you made, every moment you operated from integrity when manipulation would have been easier. The universe has been taking notes, keeping score, preparing your reward. And the most beautiful part, the person who tried to play psychological games with you gets to watch. Getting to see you thrive happens. Getting to witness your abundance happens. Getting to observe your peace happens. And it's going to confirm what already got admitted. You're the master. You're operating on a level can't be reached. You're not a psychological warfare master for your own benefit alone. You're a master so you can help others recognize when being played is happening, so you can show people what authentic power looks like, so you can demonstrate that manipulation isn't needed to succeed, so you can prove that truth is stronger than any lie, no matter how cleverly constructed. This is your calling, chosen one. This is why you went through what you went through. This is why you encountered the manipulators you encountered. This is why you survived the psychological games you survived. You were being trained, prepared, equipped for this moment, for this level, for this mission. You keep moving forward, keep operating in your truth, keep being authentic, keep protecting your peace, keep saying no to what doesn't serve you, keep that new weapon sharp, that ability to recognize games and simply not play, that skill of looking at manipulation and walking away unbothered. You've got blessings coming, real ones, the kind that match your energy, the kind that honor your journey, the kind that reward your authenticity. Your address matches the cosmic postal code. The universe knows how to find you now. You're not playing the game anymore. You've transcended it entirely. And that, chosen one, is why you've already won. That's why somebody's ready to surrender. That's why the admission is coming, that you're the master. Not because you fought, but because you never had to. Your truth was weapon enough. Your authenticity was strategy enough. Your genuine nature was power enough. Welcome to your harvest season. Welcome to your breakthrough. Welcome to the moment where everything you've been through finally makes sense. You weren't just surviving those battles. You were being trained, being refined, being upgraded into the psychological warfare master you are today. So wear that title with confidence. You earned this. You walked through fire and came out holding diamonds. You faced psychological warfare and won without firing a single shot. You encountered manipulation and defeated it with nothing but authenticity. That's power, that's mastery, that's victory, and that, chosen one, is exactly